I actually want to touch up on the physical aspect of the whole phenomenon of seeing shadow people, because apparently there's a professor that studied this, and that what she mentioned was that during your sleep cycle, when you're in deep sleep or deep REM sleep, there are hormones that paralyzes the major muscle groups in your body, and sometimes when you wake up, and those hormones still last for 8 minutes, so maybe when you wake up and you see sort of stuff, like these hormones are still in your head, so you might still see like the images in your dream and all that stuff. It's kind of like, you know how sometimes when you wake up and you feel like you're still in a dream? Mm-hmm. It's kind of like that, right? Because the hormones are still in you. And then, of course, with the whole sleep paralysis thing, which really screws up with your brain. Yeah. It's basically like you're awake but sleeping. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, because of all these hormones running through your brains, your brain's just going crazy, and you just see all these weird stuff. Which, surprisingly, for some reason, it's always this shadow figure or an old lady, or
Well, I guess it's like the pareidolia again. Your brain's trying to rationalize something.
The fact that you kind of start panicking because your conscious mind wakes up and your subconscious is still firing.
Mm-hmm. So you see a shadow of almost anything, and your brain automatically goes, especially since it's
someone's
in that
here with me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and that's why I can't move.
And the fact that because you can't move, that sensation adds to the whole horror aspect of it. It's like, okay, somebody's choking me, or there's claws that's like tying me down, all that kind of stuff. However, it's just physiological reaction from the hormones. So
exactly, yeah, because that's the thing. Like, have any of you guys had night terrors or anything like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've had it once.
I've had sleep paralysis once, and night terrors apparently a few times.
Multiple as sleep paralysis encounters.
Huh. Wow. I've only had like it wasn't even a night terror, but like a sleep paralysis, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah, fuck. I would rather have like night terrors over sleep paralysis.
Really, eh?
At least with night terrors, like when you wake up, you're just like, okay, all right, cool. Yeah. All right, that was fine. Sleep paralysis, you're just like, fuck, no, shit.
Yeah. I just try to close my eyes and then I still hear the sounds.
You've got the auditory.
I've got the auditory as well, so it's like scratching, and then like it's not heavy breathing, it's just scratching, just all these noise, and then it's like, okay, don't open your eyes, because it's in front of me, it's probably breathing down right now.
The one that I had, it was pretty bad. Oh, like bad, not as in like, oh, it was scary. It was like pretty bad because like kind of lame. Because I had been watching. It was shortly after I found out about marble hornets.
Oh,
which we mentioned
yes.
before. And I was already like kind of freaked out about the whole Slender Man thing because I was as much as like recent as it was and as like rational as I like to think I am. There was still part of my brain as like, wonder if that's actually something that could be.
Well, I mean, like
Slenderman is pretty fucking scary.
Yeah, when we did start finding out about it, it was still fairly kind of low key. So
it was really subtle.
Yeah. Don't worry, there weren't any 12-year-olds in forests trying to stab other kids. Like at that point.
Yeah, that's before that point. Well, before that. But yeah, it was at night. I was in my room. I was lying in bed, and I had Family Guy. I had the DVD on in my TV. I figured I'll just have a bit of a lie down because I'm kind of tired. So I lay down, and I started and I drifted off to sleep for a little bit. And then I remember I kind of like snapped my eyes awake because I felt like someone was there. And immediately, for some reason, I was like, oh my god, it's Slenderman. So I remember I was like on my back, and I was looking at my wall, and the TV was on the other side of my body. And normally, like, because even when the DVD plays through, it goes back to the intro screen, and it does like this little like loop of like the Family Guy clips or whatever. Yeah. And normally you can hear that and stuff, but the TV just went straight to static and was like really loud white noise. And I was like, something's wrong with my TV. I need to look over there. But then I was like, no, I shouldn't, because he's there. And so I started like trying to move myself, and I was like, oh my god. I was like, this is sleep paralysis. I was like, he's doing this. And so I looked, and then up over the bed, I could see like a shadow started coming up over the bed, and it was like his silhouette, I guess. Yeah. And I was like, like, come on, dude, do something. And so I remember, like, for some reason, my brain was like, if you rock back and forth, you'll be able to do it. So I started like going like this, and I could feel myself rocking, and then I felt like something like, I could feel it, I couldn't see it, but I could feel like something like going just over my chest. And just as I realized that there was like, oh shit, there's a hand there, I went, and I like launched myself out of my bed. I looked over at my TV and the Family Guy, like the loop thing was on. It wasn't on white noise. I was like,
Oh.
it's pretty cool. So I was actually a little more excited after it was over. And
Cool.
I calmed down. I was like, hey, yay.
Lights on, energy drinks in.
Yeah. I was like, I'm not going to bed for the rest of the night.
Sleep tomorrow. Fuck this.
Yeah. But yeah, it's kind of, it's just kind of a show of how night terrors can really F you up.
Yeah.
But
Which also goes back to the whole psychological thing, right? Because of the fact that you have the idea of Slenderman in your head, and then of course it just implies that it's it's Slenderman and other kind of stuff. So it's
exactly.
It's like for my case, because was finishing watching Darkness Falls, which is about that really ghostly tooth fairy thing, and I was morbidly terrified of that. And then of course, that thing was like floating around and stuff, other stuff. So now I always thought that, oh my god, it's that thing from this floating in front of me, and it's all. And of course, like I did open my eyes, but it's not. It wasn't really there. It was more like just a blob of blackness. So that's kind of like okay.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah.
It makes you wonder what shadow people really are then.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, like the one I've had a couple, like literally only about like 2 cases of sleep paralysis at this point. I'm gonna save my story for another episode because I think that'll just the subject matter of that will work better for a different thing.
Yeah.
So I had sleep paralysis, but it wasn't like shadow person related. So I think closest shadow person related situation I've had was when we went up into Mather House in Burnaby.
Yeah.
Went into one of the rooms with the it used to be like an old nursery room, and walked into the room. I couldn't move, and out of the corner of my eye I saw a shadow baby in the carriage.
Oh, that's creepy.
That was my like fuck it I'm out moment.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
Well, that's weird. Yeah, you never really normally hear of like anything
Shadow.
smaller than a shadow adult.
Yeah, usually I know like shadow shades and stuff like that. They're usually a bit smaller and they're mostly like amorphous blobs.
Oh, okay.
And they kind of phase in and out. This thing was like baby moving like a baby, couldn't move. I was awake. This was at like
Jeez.
8 p.m.
Wow.
We were all like, nah, I'm out.
Peace out.
We're good. Like, we didn't fully leave. I went back up. I just didn't go back into that room. I just need like a good 5 minutes to like clear my head and be like, oh, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
It's always one of those moments where you feel like you're dreaming, then once you snap out of it, it's like, did that really just happen? Kind of deal, right?
Yeah.
Like
I just freak out.
because I recall like there were multiple times where I was living in my old house where I was upstairs, and then I always heard like footsteps. So then I remember walking down, and then right in front of the stairs is like a window, and of course it was at night, and then it was raining out, so there's a reflection, and I saw that, and then there's like, I look at the reflection, and there's like this black blob thing around the corner, and of course I just froze. I'm like, okay, I don't know if that's just my imagination and all that stuff, because there at that spot we usually put like a coat hanger and maybe just be a coat and all that stuff, and then of course in the reflection I kind of saw it kind of moved. So now I'm like, okay, closing my eyes, and I was like 10 when this happens. I was like closing my eyes and all that kind of stuff, and said open my eyes, oh, it's a coat or something like that. But then the fact that it moved, and it just feels like, and of course it feels very intrusive as well, because I feel like there was somebody there or something there
In your
with
house.
me.
Yeah.
And of course I was like alone at home, which technically should be illegal when you're 10, but anyways.
Yeah, I used
It's
to
a different time.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't know. It's just one of those weird things. It's like, yeah, we said earlier, just super intrusive.
Yeah.
That's like...
They feel like they really shouldn't be there.
It's like the
More
stalker.
than anything else. Yeah.
So one of the theories as to why these are so intrusive and they just show up, one of the theories is that they are extra-dimensional beings and or time travelers.
Yeah. A little Doctor Who.
You little Professor what?
Professor what?
We can't say Doctor Who. We already have enough problem with us using music during the...
Oh, yeah. This video has been removed. Yeah. I think that's the theory that I like the most.
Yeah.
That I kind of like agree with.
It's like phasing out from different dimensions and stuff. I find that to be at least more interesting in not as scary.
Yeah, well, here's
Like
the
for
thing.
my own
do
insanity
you
was.
think they have control over that? Or if it's
That's a
just
good
like a
point.
weird like overlap of two dimensions? And like, do you think they see us as shadow people as well? And they're just like, well, what the fuck is that in like their dimension?
Yeah. Because there's a couple times where like I've heard stories that people have said where every time they see one, even not just so much invoking the name of Jesus or whatever, but a lot of the time anyone tries to like talk to them or like yell at them or something, then they go away right away.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, they will take off as soon as you acknowledge them and say something to them.
Okay.
Then they're gone, and it almost makes you wonder if like maybe their hold on this dimension is really tenuous.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're whatever species they are. There's like that technology is in its infancy or something. They don't really know how to stay in our dimension just yet.
Which I'm assuming is some sort of weird parallel 1920s.
They're all
Are they,
just
like,
steampunky.
Super high tech. It would explain the fedoras and trench coats. Because the last thing we want is bronies with fucking high dimensional fucking.
Traveling on the power of their euphoria.